home
Oh.
chef.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah.
seems like it's time for Collecturbation. Really good one this week, folks. How to find it? Let's see. This week we are featuring the Cult's massive 1987 record, Electric. Now, few people realize the gamble that was involved in the making of this record. If you go back to the band's earliest origins, first there was Southern Death Cult, which was good, and then in 1984, Dreamtime came out, and it was a fantastic goth rock album. It was full of angst and quality musicianship. Then came 1985's Love record, which went to number 4 in the UK. Both singles cracked the top 20. The band seemed like they had found their niche, and Beggars Banquet, the label, booked them into Manor Studio in Oxfordshire during the summer of '86 for the follow-up. They recorded 12 songs with Steve Brown, who would later go on to work with Wham and Manic Street Preachers. The next album was to be called Peace. Get it? Love, peace. But the band hated the recordings. Ian Astbury was completely detached from the sessions, obsessing over American culture, New York City, and AC/DC.
Astbury hooked up with Rick Rubin, who had just produced the Beastie Boys' License to Ill and Slayer's phenomenal Rain and Blood records, but it was still a huge risk. The Cult was an established commodity. They had what 99% of other bands would have wanted: album sales, label support, successful touring, but they just wanted to rock and take over American radio.
That's right. So this is Wildflower. Okay, in subsequent interviews, Rick Rubin has said that he didn't produce the Cult, he reduced them. It's interesting to compare the Peace stuff they recorded versus the versions that made it onto Electric. All of that stuff that was recorded for the Peace album was released on CD in the late 80s. They called it like the Manor Sessions, the Electric Sessions, etc. And my fucking college roommate hated this record, and he deliberately bought them so that he could torture me with the fluffier versions of the songs that I love. So anyway, those songs on the original sessions are much more nuanced, flowy, arpeggiated, but Electric is as stripped down as the band could possibly get. Kick drum is amplified to ridiculous levels. Their drummer at the time, Les Warner, was really into Thin Lizzy and Brian Downey's kind of epic fill style. Rubin took all that shit out of the mix. It was just kick drum to ridiculous levels.
When the album came out, everyone was divided. They lost tons of goth fans, and the hard rock magazines didn't exactly jump on board either. The album eventually went to number 4 in the UK and had 3 hit singles, same as Love. But the big difference was Electric cracked the US top 40. Of course, the D-bags at Rolling Stone panned it.
Of course, they always miss the mark. Now, interesting. Just look at the outfits. Like it was like they didn't know how to dress for hard rock. I mean, look, Billy Duffy looks like he's ready for his rockabilly band. Asbury's got that weird fur hat on, and the other two look like they just finished doing sessions for Duran Duran or something. I mean, compare that. All right, so this was 87. And this was also 87. They would actually tour with Guns N' Roses later that same year. Look how much more in style these guys look.
There's a cohesive look here.
Compare this to this. I mean, it was just like the Cult didn't know how to. The dress is so odd at this time, you know. But anyway, great record. And let's play the one about the devil, King Contrary Man.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.